All right, ready to dive into some seriously tiny tech? We're talking microelectronics maintenance technician interviews today, getting you prepped to impress those hiring managers.
That's right. We're breaking down those interview questions using real data from RoleCatcher and that awesome career guide you shared.
Just thinking about interviews gets my gears turning. But hey, by the end of this deep dive, you'll be totally prepped.
Exactly. No one's going to catch you off guard. Speaking of catching, let's jump into a question that often pops up early on. Describe your experience with maintaining microelectronics equipment.
Okay, so it sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But how do you really nail it?
Good point. They're not just looking for a list of everything you've ever touched. Remember those core functions we talked about? Troubleshooting, quality control. They want to see how your experience fits with all that.
So it's about showing them you get the bigger picture.
Yeah, like let's say you're going for an entry-level position. Instead of I've fixed computers, you could say I helped a senior technician with preventative maintenance on a network server. I learned how important documentation and safety protocols are.
Much better.
Yeah,
It shows you're not just, mechanically fixing things. You understand why it all matters.
exactly. Now, for a more senior role, you'd highlight leadership, analytical skills, even training others. Remember that senior technician profile? Investigating that issue impacting the whole production line.
Yeah,
That kind of story shows you can handle the pressure and think on your feet.
love it. It's like telling your microelectronics story. And that's where RoleCatcher comes in with its AI magic. You can actually type in your answer and see how well it matches what employers want.
Right. It's like having a personal interview coach giving you feedback and suggestions.
No more interview jitters.
Eh,
Okay, so what's next?
time to show off those problem-solving skills. Another common question is, how do you diagnose and repair malfunctioning microelectronics equipment?
Oh, okay, so they want to see how you think.
Yep, it's all about your process. Microelectronics repair is about being precise, not just guessing.
Makes sense. So how do you structure your answer to really showcase that?
I like the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. Start with a specific situation, a tricky repair.
Gotcha. Set the scene.
Right. Then, what was the task? What needed fixing? Why?
Makes sense.
Yes. Then, how'd you diagnose and repair it? This is where you shine with that technical knowledge. Like, did you use a multimeter, an oscilloscope?
Don't be afraid to get a little technical, right?
Absolutely. Keep it clear, though. Avoid overwhelming them with jargon. And finally, the result. Did you fix it? What did you learn?
So you're showing them you can find problems and solutions.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can help you here, too, suggesting tools and techniques to mention based on the job description.
Like having a secret weapon. All right, safety first. What about keeping everyone safe around microelectronics equipment?
That's huge. They're not just listening for safety rules. They want to see you understand why it's so important and how you avoid risks.
Right one wrong move with a soldering iron could be a hair-raising experience.
You said it. Go beyond just mentioning PPE. Talk about specific safety protocols. I always discharge static electricity before touching sensitive components, or I never work on live equipment without following lockout-tagout procedures.
It's those habits that make you reliable.
Right. Mention any safety training or certifications, too. Show them you're serious about safety.
And RoleCatcher can help fine-tune that answer. Make sure you're hitting all the right notes. Okay, what else is on the list?
All right, so how about staying updated in this field? How do you stay up to date with the latest microelectronics technology and trends? Classic question.
Right, things change so fast you got to stay ahead of the game.
It's about showing them you're hungry to learn. Who would you hire? Someone who's always learning new stuff, or someone who waits for things to come to them?
Easy the proactive learner, every
Yeah.
time. So how do you show that in an interview?
Think about how you learn best. Those industry magazines you read, the online forums, or even podcasts, the ones that really get into the details.
Like this one.
Exactly. Don't forget those professional development courses, maybe a workshop on surface mount technology, or an online course on those new programming languages.
Shows you're willing to put in the work.
Right. And those certifications like IPCA 610, CET, CMT, those are big in this field.
Totally. Leveling up your skills. And that's where RoleCatcher is so helpful.
Oh, for sure. You can actually use it to find courses and certifications based on what jobs you want.
Amazing. Okay, we've talked about experience, staying current. What about those tougher questions? The ones that really test you?
You mean like describe a time you had to troubleshoot and repair a complex microelectronics system? That's a good one.
Okay, so how do you answer that without freezing up?
This is where you show them you can analyze a problem. Remember SNAR. This is where it comes in handy. Make them feel the pressure you were under. Was it something important that broke? Lots of parts that made it hard to figure out.
Ooh, getting dramatic.
Right. Then, what was the task? What were the states if you failed?
High pressure. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about your actions?
Now you get technical. Did you use a thermal camera? Break out those schematics. What about special software?
Show off those skills.
Yes. And for the result, focus on the positive. Did you fix it fast? Save time or money? Learn something you could use again?
Turning a tough question into a win. RoleCatcher's AI is so helpful here.
For real, it can help you use the right technical words and even see how other people have answered it.
Okay, now for something super important, accuracy. What do they want to hear about that?
They want to see how detail-oriented you are. Remember microelectronics. Small mistakes, big problems.
So you got to be perfect.
Pretty much. Talk about systems you've used, like a computerized maintenance management system. Have you used one of those?
Oh, what now? Sounds intense.
They're getting pretty common. It's software that keeps track of everything, maintenance, spare parts, reports, all of it.
Wow, organized. What if you don't have that kind of software, though?
You can still describe your system. Do you log every repair? Date, time, the problem, what you did, what parts, photos or videos too?
Showing them you're thorough.
Yes. And those little things that make you stand out. Color-coded notes, templates that are easy to follow, all of it.
So organized. And again, RoleCatcher can help here too, right?
Of course. You can get feedback, see examples, even learn about specific tools you can talk about.
Love it. Okay, we've got soldering down, but what about the software side of things?
Programming. They'll definitely ask about microcontrollers and embedded systems.
Like they're trying to read your code?
Kind of. But you don't have to be a coding genius, don't worry. Just show you understand how it all works.
Okay, so what should we be talking about?
Those embedded programming languages. C, C++, HIME, assembly, that kind of thing. Have you programmed an Arduino before? Or used a real-time operating system?
It's about showing you can code for microelectronics specifically.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to let your passion show. Any specific microcontrollers you like. Open source platforms.
Enthusiasm is key. And RoleCatcher can help you figure out which languages and skills are most in demand.
Exactly. It's all about tailoring your answers.
We've covered a lot. Soldering, software, the works. But we've got more to cover, right?
Oh, yeah. We're just getting started. Let's take a quick break and come back for the final round.
All right, back to those microelectronics interviews. Ready for the home stretch.
Let's do it. We've got this. How about this question? How do you prioritize and manage your workload when maintaining multiple microelectronics systems?
Ooh, that's a good one. Keeping everything organized when you've got circuits everywhere.
It's all about showing them you can handle the pressure. They don't want someone who's going to crack when things get busy.
So how do you prove you're a master organizer?
Talk about your system. How do you prioritize? Maybe a to-do list or a Kanban board.
A what board?
The Kanban board. It's like a whiteboard with columns for to do, in progress, done. You move your tasks across as you work on them. Great for seeing everything at once.
Oh, I like that. Visual. But what about just like how you stay on top of things?
Your personal strategies. Do you use the Pomodoro technique? Time blocking. Whatever works for you.
Right, everyone's different. And RoleCatcher can help you explain all of that in a way that really clicks.
Absolutely. See how others have answered this one? Get suggestions for your style. It's all there. Okay, now for a question about details. Documentation.
Oh yeah, that's got to be super important in this field.
It's crucial. Imagine trying to remember a repair from months ago with no record of what you did. Nightmare.
No kidding. Okay, so when they ask how you document everything.
This is where you show them how organized you are. Have you worked with a CMMS before? Computerized Maintenance Management System.
Sounds kind of scary.
Not at all. It's basically software that does it all. Work orders, maintenance schedules, parts, reports.
Wow. Okay, what if you don't have fancy software like that?
No problem. Just describe your system. Detailed logs, photos, whatever keeps those records straight.
Right, gotta be thorough.
And those extra details. Color coding, templates, anything that makes your work stand out.
Nice. And again, RoleCatcher can help here, right?
Of course. Feedback, examples, industry-specific tools you can mention.
Perfect. We've covered so much. From soldering to software to staying organized. Any last words of advice for those interviews?
Be confident. You've got this. Practice your answers, let your personality shine through, and use RoleCatcher to your advantage.
Love it. And remember, have fun. This is an exciting field to be in. Thanks for diving into the details with us. Until next time, happy troubleshooting.